This is what it looks like on Capitol Hill when the government shuts down. Virtually empty. This is a room that's usually filled with tourists. So how long could a government shutdown really last? Well, the Senate is out today, Thursday, for Yom Kippur, so the earliest they could vote on legislation that would fund the government would be Friday, but we aren't seeing much movement in the Senate that signifies that a deal or an end to the shutdown is imminent. Democrats are still holding firm. They say that they want commitments out of Republicans to extend Obamacare tax credits that are set to expire at the end of this year, and they want a rollback of some cuts to Medicaid that were in the president's signature One Big Beautiful Bill Act that passed some months back. Republicans have said they're not going to negotiate with Democrats while they're holding the federal government, in the words of Republican leaders up here on the Hill, hostage. So you're at least looking at a shutdown that goes until Friday, probably into the weekend. Senate Republicans have said they're going to keep holding vote after vote after vote to try to put Democrats on the record here. And the thing about a shutdown, remember, is the longer it goes, the worse the impacts are. There are some federal workers that are already showing up to work and not getting paid. They will get back pay eventually, like TSA agents and air traffic controllers and people who do food inspections for the federal government. The list goes on and on and on. But as we've seen with shutdowns in the past, sometimes those federal workers who are told to show up and not get paid, they ultimately start calling out. And so that's when you start seeing lines at airports. In the last government shutdown, 2018, there were massive lines at airports because TSA agents started calling out sick. National parks, they're going to try to stay open, the federal government says, but because of staffing issues, you're going to have reduced enforcement there, reduced staffing. You might see trash start to pile up. The Smithsonian here in Washington, D.C., they say that they're going to stay open at least until next week. Ultimately, you're going to start to see funding dry up depending upon how long this lasts for federal food assistance for those who are lower income or new mothers and newborns. And again, while you're really looking at a game of time here, the longer the shutdown lasts, the worse the impacts are. There are things that are starting to close right now. Federal office buildings are closed and the Capitol is closed to visitors.